Nice camera action. Nice. Nice camera action. There's the 4th of July, folks. Another one. 2023. Don't really mean much to me though, because you know, I'm a black man, foundational black American. Probably wouldn't matter who won the fucking war. Would have been another white power in play, regardless. So I don't understand why black people would actually celebrate the 4th of July. Some call it the 4th of July. Whether the British won or the US won, it don't even make a difference. Still both white oppressors. So, you know, some black folks have y'all children popping fireworks and all that. Just know what you're celebrating. Nothing. Some of you black people are immigrants popping fireworks, or you know, some of y'all in y'all countries worship the Queen and all that stuff. British Queen, and all into that kind of stuff. But us foundational black Americans over here, we know our history, despite what a lot of y'all like to think. And the contrary. So, can't change people's mindsets and traditions overnight. I pretty much did. Sometimes the truth hit people differently, but they'll change immediately. Sometimes it'll take constant bombardment with the truth before people change. You know, I've heard about the 4th of July, you know, and what it was really about, but you don't understand what's really going on with white supremacy and all that. You'll keep on celebrating these holidays till one day you start realizing, like, man, this is some bullshit for a black man. Now, if you can kind of find some kind of excuses in anything, really, damn near. Some black people, and I guess if you have a hard time just going cold turkey and stop celebrating the 4th of July, you can say this though. You can say because some of our black ancestors was fighting in them wars, so even though they ain't really get free after the winning, helping the U.S. win, that is part of our history. So yeah, you can celebrate that aspect. So I guess if you look at it that way, you can, as long as you know what part of the 4th of July you celebrate, you can celebrate the part where our ancestors were helping fighting in that war. And we did contribute to the building of this country in a major way. Yeah, but don't go celebrating it as if we got free and all this shit. That ain't what really went down. We helped these motherfuckers out. So these white supremacists out, these slave masters, so you can look at it like that. For our sake, in a sense. You know. We know what the British did, really. Can't really say they would have been worse or better. But at the bottom line, we know what it is. So we can say the British this and that. But who are the British? They were the ones in the 13 colonies. So they were fighting each other. So British on this soil versus the ones across seas. They're the same people. Same motherfuckers. Fatherfuckers. You know, buck breakers and all that shit. It's pretty warm out tonight. People out walking. It's like 85. I almost 11 o'clock. No, it was almost 10:30, so it ain't really that late, but you know, it's late. Out here just taking a stroll. Taking a stroll. One thing got me thinking about people, man. When they give to people in need, who they perceive to be in need, a lot of times that's filled with disrespect, man. I don't like people who give bad gifts, man. You give something you don't like because it's a subpar quality or. Say that.
We cannot go in this direction. You have to go in this direction, or you can go back in that direction.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't like people who give bad gifts, man. I remember some years ago, some dude gave me my mom's friend, quote unquote. Some dude, I ain't asked for nothing. He just need some shoes, man. I got some, I was kind of skeptical. I got some brand new dress shoes, man. It was around my size at the time, but I just went on ahead and took them. But then I brought them up to my room, closer inspection. The soles was very crooked, man. Like the craftsmanship was very poor at the soles. The higher the heels of the shoe. It feels like some Oxfords or something, black Oxfords. But it was defective, man. I felt some kind of way about it. I was like, oh, that's why this nigga gave me them shoes, man. Yeah, these people gonna rap, man. This nigga gave me some shoes because he ain't want the motherfucker. Yeah, they looked kind of new and all that, but they were defective. See, when people give you bad gifts, you start looking at them kind of funny, man. Like, man, you trying to play me or something. I ain't even asked you for these shoes, but you offered. Then I look at them and I see why you gave them away. You gotta be careful about that kind of stuff, folks. People giving you stuff. Some people give you food that they didn't bid off of and all that shit. They say don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. But some people, man, they like to off-put problems on you. It's not really a gift. It's a problem they're trying to give you. Just keep that in mind. They don't feel like going to the trash, so they'll offer you some cookies. Like this one Nigerian broad did some years ago. She offered me and some dudes I was with some cookies. I was reluctant, which I do be reluctant in accepting gifts, but I knew the chick. So I was at a church, so got a cookie out the thing, and she gonna ask me to can I throw that away for her? And then right at that moment I was like, oh, that's why she offered me them damn cookies, because she wanted me to throw that shit away, because she was sitting in the car in the driver's seat. She offered them, so she didn't feel like throwing it away, so she offered me some cookies and shit. Like, that's what people, they try to manipulate you, man. Manipulate the situation. You just throwing these things out here. I probably think like, man, you still think about it? Yeah, I remember about key things, like things in my life that end up being learning lessons. Like I have a lot of those kind of experiences. It's very old by other people's definitions of things I should have forgot, but it's like they seem real trivial to a lot of people who probably hear this, man. But I hold on to that stuff because that's why I'm good at reading people. Very good at reading people because I remember those little tidbits in life dealing with people. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to stuff like that, because you will keep on forgetting. People keep running them same games on you. Then you be looking stunned and shocked. You won't be knowing what's going on. You done forgot the lesson. You know, so I brought this up because I was thinking about something earlier when my mom came over. You know, because my birthday was coming up, so she bought me some hats and all that. And she brought my niece with her, and I ended up giving it to my niece. I don't think she really liked that. But she should know what kind of hats I like, because I got a bunch of hats on my hat rack. I wear fitted hats, man. She got me like snapbacks, and then one of them has some weird symbolism on it. I don't wear hats and stuff like that. Symbols I can't understand, and you know, advertising and all that shit. I don't wear that, man. You don't know what you're wearing, what you're promoting. Wearing hats and merchandise and stuff with weird symbols on there. But you know, and the quality wasn't what I would normally wear, so I ain't gonna be fake about it, man. Like, you can't be fake with people. You know, I remember my mom, man, she gave this dude, like, it was a dude, he came over, I think he was like the cable man or maintenance guy or something. I was asleep. That's when I was living with her. I was like 26 or something like that, 27. She gave this dude some of my ice cream, man. But the thing is, what made me remember the situation was I left my spoon in the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? It was my ice cream, and I wasn't mad about her about sharing it. It was the fact that she got this guy to eat some ice cream with my spoon in it, man. And that kind of made me feel kind of funny, like she kind of made this guy embarrassed. I got like a secondhand embarrassment. But she didn't make this guy, I know he only did it to be, because he ain't want to seem rude or nothing. But that's what I'm saying, folks. People put you in a bind. You know, they'll give you'll get secondhand embarrassment. You know, I had to kind of lighten the situation up, what I felt I had to do. And this shit was like way over a decade ago. See, I remember these things, man. These little learning things. You know, he liked the ice cream, but it had my spoon in it. He didn't know me. He didn't know her. It was my ice cream. And I was eating it with that spoon. But she kind of put him in a situation where he didn't want to be rude about it. But he had moved the spoon out the way, man. And I was like, man, it's that kind of stuff, folks, man. People do stuff, people be fake. They'll offload that stuff on you, man. Then you be looking fake, acting fake and phony. Try to clean up their mess and all that shit. That's what you don't want to do. All that stuff to make the people be acting fake and phony. stuff makes you weak it makes your character weak, man. When you be acting fake and phony, you know, you lower your integrity. And really your integrity is your ability to be honest with yourself and other people, man. Your integrity is lowered by being fake and acting phony, giving greetings to people you don't really want to speak to and all that. You don't have to try to, what you call that? You don't have to be hostile openly to people you don't like, but if you don't want to speak to people, man, you shouldn't force it. All that stuff adds up, man. It just tallies up, stacks up. Then one day you're gonna be annoyed and you ain't gonna want to speak. And you've been phony so much with a person, they're gonna speak to you and you're gonna have some words to say to them and all that shit. And they're looking at you like you're crazy. You got people out here saying, why you looking mean and all that shit? Why you looking sad and shit? Whenever somebody asks me why I'm looking mean and all that shit, I'm sad, it annoys me. Because a lot of times I don't wear those emotions on my sleeve like that. A lot of times, man, when I'm angry, like if I'm not in the vicinity of the person I'm angry at, it don't really sit on my conscience like that. You know, my anger is really proximity based. You know, everybody kind of dwells on who they be angry at a lot of times, but my anger kind of dies down, simmers down. People come around, what you mad about? Especially when I'm in a mellow mood, man. I hate when people. Now that actually kind of annoys me, and it could make me angry. It annoys me, and it could make me angry. When I'm in a good mood, people ask me what's wrong and all that shit. I hate when people do that because that just let me know that they're uncomfortable around me. Somebody asks you what's wrong and you're in a mellow state of mind, you just chilling, that means they're uncomfortable around you. And that's really annoying. So you just leave me alone. That's what you're thinking. Like, I'm cool. Don't worry about how I'm feeling. I'm cool. You know, but they're only doing that for their sake. They're the ones who are annoyed by your silence or by your chill behavior. That's all that small talk is, you know. You be dealing with folk, dealing with small talk. That stuff makes you weak. When you keep engaging in small talk, it makes you weak. You know, it makes you accept phony behavior from people, and it makes you phony. And makes you feel like a punk. If you're a man with some kind of dignity about yourself, you start feeling like a punk because you kowtow and all that. You know, you can be humble, but you let people kind of make you a punk, man, by making you fake and phony. Like another example, somebody be like, you know, somebody say hi to you in a high-pitched voice. Dave Chappelle made a joke about it. And then you say hi back in a high-pitched voice. That's being phony. See, that's why Dave Chappelle brought that up into a joke. You're just talking about things like that that'll make you feel like weird because it's uncharacteristic of how you normally say hi to someone. But people are manipulative with the way they say things, and they manipulate you into responding to them in that way in a high-pitched voice. So this is what I'm bringing in the 4th of July. Some education, I guess you can call it that. Education. Yeah, some of y'all probably think, why is this guy just going around on the bike talking? Believe it or not, folks, this will actually make you better at speaking around folks. I can feel myself becoming stronger, but I struggled with speaking in front of people, man, like crowds of people, because I was traumatized, man, as a child. I said this in a video. A teacher put me on blast, man. Like, she did it out of spite. Some African teacher, black, dark skinned, elementary school teacher. I was in the 3rd grade. She made me sing Jingle Bells in front of the whole class, knowing I didn't know the words to the song. But she did it because I was a jokester. Not really a jokester, I would say. I would do a lot of talking, and she didn't like that. Oh, maybe I had ADHD. You know, I had a hard time focusing. But actually, I had a hard childhood. So, you know, I had a hard childhood. Sometimes I don't really say things about my childhood because I will implement another sibling in there. I remember me and that sibling, my bro, we had some issues that I had revealed something to a friend. He was I considered a brother, because, you know, my younger brother. You know, we was babies at the same time. I only got him about 10 months and 10 days. You know, I asked my mom, we got the same pops for real. She swear by it. I kept browbeating her about it. But you know how when you get older, you start seeing how women are. Like, man, you know, but she say it. And, you know, we got some features, some similarities, but you know, that can be from her side. But, you know. But anyway, you know, me and him, we had like a falling off some years ago. But he knew the dude I knew, and he was, you know, we was all friends, but he had went away to the military. And me and that guy, you know, the friend, we was a mutual friend, we developed a stronger connection while he was away. So my friend, he became almost like a brother, man. So I told him some stuff, and you know, it implemented my brother in there. So that's why sometimes that's another thing, folks. If you're telling secrets, you know, some of y'all know this. You can implement other family in there who may not want to be in there. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful revealing secrets. And all that. So yeah. Telling the family secrets. Every month, you know. I'll say this though. You're gonna have family members who're gonna feel some kind of way if you're telling the truth. As a black man, you know, recently I had to block my mom on Facebook, man, because she was leaving like little videos and stuff talking about some forgiveness and don't judge. And I know it was based on these videos I'll be leaving, these real talks about white supremacy and all that, about how I don't forgive them and how I judge them. Like, I don't like listening to none of that shit. Be careful. Like, it just made me realize, like, my mom, she would probably sell me out. You know, if I ever got into some shit and I was on the run, she'd be like, come home. Man, just come home. You know, it's better for you to come home and, you know, face the law. No, fuck all that. I'm on the run, And I'm not gonna be cowering in dens with the mindset of I'm not doing anything. I'm that type of person, man, who's gonna defend himself, put it that way. Ain't gonna be no coming in peaceful or none of that shit. You know, ain't gonna be no peaceful. be no I don't hear none of that do the right thing, because I already have a certain kind of morality. Like a lot of y'all probably know by now. I don't look at morality the same as other people. What people see as bad, I don't perceive it as that. And the evidence speaks for itself, man. Police themselves is taught to lie. And yet you still have black people who turn themselves in because they think that's the right thing to do. But cops are taught to lie. See how this mind fuck is, folks? Black people. You're dealing with people who are trained to lie to you, and they have no qualms about it. They have no qualms for shooting you dead. And you're gonna turn yourself in because you feel morally bound to do it. I told y'all what that so-called moral conviction is. All it is docility. It's a form of fear. All right, even if you did something wrong to a black person, you don't turn yourself in to white people. You ask for forgiveness from the family you offended. If something tugging at your heartstrings, you go to that family, or you send that family anonymous checks. Yeah, it won't bring their loved ones back. But if you had, because that's all you really can do, except or kill yourself. If you kill somebody, family member, and you know, that's really justice, to kill yourself, to go where you sent them. But you're too afraid to do it, and you're feeling guilty about it. You know, send some anonymous checks. Turn yourself into a slave, pretty much. You know, set aside 30% of your income, or what you can afford, what's reasonable, that won't put you in the poorhouse and stop you from being able to send checks to the family. You know, but don't turn yourself into the police, being punished by them. They're not no holy people to turn yourself in. They're not Christ associates. That's what you black people need to understand, man. You turn yourself into law enforcement. That's not going to vindicate you in the eyes of our Creator. Because these people are self-proclaimed enemies, man. These people have waged a war against us, man. And it's been like that for hundreds of years, man. You're going to turn yourself in to racist white people like you done did the right thing. That's called a mind fuck, folks. You've been mind fucked and brainwashed to see the white race collective and a system as something official and normalized and righteous and good. They're not the good guys, man. How many times I got to stress this out? They're not the good guys. These are people doing a job, man. Keep their foot on our necks, man. You can't be looking at these people as good guys. You have black folks rob the bank and go turn themselves in. No, you don't do none of that shit. You ain't gonna earn nothing. It ain't gonna be better for you to turn yourself in to none of that shit. Punishment it's still gonna be bad. It'll make you a felon, which is a slave. You're not gonna benefit the family of the persons you hurt. You're gonna benefit them. People who had nothing to do with what you did. I mean, in that sense. You didn't offend the cops, but you made yourself a slave to them. Meanwhile, the family whose son or daughter or relative you took out or harmed, they're not benefiting from you being in the slammer. That's what I'm saying. As black people, we gotta have our own kind of code. I'm saying this on the record, black people. You kill somebody, and I suggest you develop some kind of morality. But the thing with morality is based on people interactions. It's really just a code. It's not really about feelings. It's about understanding cause and effect. But if you injure or harm, kill a black person, make restitution to their family. If you feel you gotta turn yourself in, don't do it. Try to flee or get out the country or something, man. Send some checks, find out who the family offended, and get them money, man. Good sizable money. You become their slave. You don't become a slave to the white system, man. They just gonna benefit. You're gonna be in there making sweatshops, sweaters and shit, shoes, and they gonna be getting paid and all this shit. Meanwhile, the family members you offended, they gonna be in grief and not benefiting shit. So that's what I'm saying. Black people have some moral conviction about that. You turning yourself in, it's just the right thing to do. No, that's a docile mindset. That means you don't even understand the system of white supremacy we live in. You don't owe these people a damn thing, man. I want black people, I want y'all to really understand it. We don't owe white society, white people in general, nothing. Their system is set up to oppress us, man, deliberately. It's not no shit I'm saying. They do everything to keep us at a certain level, financially, economically, socially. It's by design, man. There ain't no conspiracy involved. Just look at the evidence. Look at what happened when black people commit crimes versus what happened when white people commit crimes. Who get charged the most severe? You know, you gonna blame that severity of how we be charged with crimes on black crime and all that shit? What does another black person committing a crime have something to do with another black individual? So we are brother's keeper for our whole fucking race. Is that what it is? That alone speaks to the racism, to the white supremacy that's involved. Oh, I'm a whole brother's keeper of every black person on the planet. So if a black person do something here, and 1,000 miles away, hundreds of miles away, that's my people, huh? See the games that white society play, black people? Black on black crime, that's racist by design. That's a racist statement. Yet they say it's no racism, but it's black on black crime, you people crime. That's all you gotta remember what that is. It's you people crime. That's racist by design. That's racist by what it is. No other race has a title that says Asian on Asian crime, Caucasian on Caucasian crime. But we get singled out, and it's black on black crime. That's racist. And any white person who says that is a racist automatically. You know, you gonna blame me for what other people do somewhere else, and you gonna justify that and say I deserve whatever negative happened because some niggas in Chicago was killing each other. That's racist as hell. A lot of you black people need to understand that and stop going along with this system, believing it's just. It's not just, man. Stop turning yourselves in. Stop allowing your mother to tug at your heartstrings to tell you gotta turn yourself in. You be on the run until you can't run no more. But make restitution to every black person, who any black person you hurt. Now, if you hurt any other race besides a black person, you don't have to feel guilty about making restitution. Yeah, I'm saying it. These people have waged war against us, man. Your morality should only cover other black people. It shouldn't go outside of the race at all. Oh, you was trying to shoot up something and you shot a white baby or something. Oh, that's too bad. But you by no means have sinned by doing that. Why do I say all this stuff? I'm saying real cold-blooded, huh? Some folks, huh? You gotta understand the mindset, man. These people have reduced our race to peasantry, man. There always has to be peasantry in white society, man. They have reduced our black race to peasantry. And they only allow some black people to succeed for a time as a dangling carrot so we won't catch on, man. If you want a system to stand to play where you had to do minimum work to maintain it, to maintain the prisoners. You want to keep the lie going. Can't be showing black people there's no way out. So you gotta show some black people making it, or look perceived to be like they might be making it. But then when them black people get too old, white society just take the wealth all back from them. That wealth never make it to a black person's grandchildren. That's by design. Never make it that far. You know, some allegations come up, 70-year-old allegations about rape and druggery and all that kind of shit. Putting 80-something-year-old black men in jail, hoping they die so you can take their wealth. Killing off, giving them poisons and shit where they can go to sleep and don't wake up. I.e. Michael Jackson and Prince and all that shit. That's what they do. Michael Jordan, he next. Took his team, you know. Oprah, she next. Who else was next? Jay-Z, Beyonce, they next. All these mega millionaires and some billionaires, they next. They're not getting away with none of that money that they built up because white society won't allow them to have it. That's the game. So I'll go around pretending about any of this shit. That's what it is, man. All the white people you see around you, they understand this, even in other countries. They understand what's happening, and they are okay with it for the most part. Yeah, you black people, y'all just at the bottom. Yeah, somebody had to be at the bottom. Why not y'all niggas? Everybody feed off black people being at the bottom. They feed their ego. They get a jump start in their businesses. You know, we try to rear up, we try to do right for ourselves, we keep being sabotaged. That's why everybody likes us at the bottom, where they can parasite off our ass and maintain their quality of life and their dreams. See, that's all this is. This is what I'm saying on the 4th of July, folks. Bring some truth. Don't feel bad about not having what you're supposed to have. If you're a foundational black American, you're not supposed to. You're on welfare, you're getting checks, government handout programs. All that shit is old anyway, and some. Don't make them think you're not owed anything, and don't let other black people make you feel bad because you don't have certain things, material things. But like I said before, all that shit is an illusion, man. Even if you was a billionaire anyway, as a black person, white people would take it back from you. It ain't gonna survive to your grandchildren. Put that to the test, black people. None of that mega millions and billions from black people ever make it to their grandchildren. Some of y'all may be thinking, well, they just mishandle their money. Mishandle their money? A billionaire? a multi-hundred-something millionaire? They mishandled their money, huh? Well, it didn't make it to their grandchildren. They made it that far. No, it's by design. It gets stolen. It get taken. It get co-opted. It get finagled from them. You know, so just keep that in mind. Sometimes it get finagled also by social things like dealing with their children. See, that's why they come around black people with all this LGBTQ shit and all this feminism and get those wealthy black minds to start thinking in a way that's not about black race first. So they'll never rear their children in the right way they're supposed to be loyal to their own family legacy. You know, you think an LGBTQ black person talking about fighting the powerful LGBTQ people is thinking about their family legacy? Think they thinking about black race first? When to them, black race is secondary or third or last. It ain't no racism. That's the only way you can really pass on wealth. You got to be loyal to your race. If you're not loyal to your race, you ain't gonna be thinking about that. It's gonna be love everybody and give everybody a piece of what you can earn. So this is my 4th of July message. 4th of July message, or 4th of July message, if you're a foundational Black American, with the mindset of knowing that our ancestors fought in the war to help these wiggers out against another set of wiggers. You know, if you want to look at it like that. Yeah, but I just get tired of the lies, man, the bullshit, the facades. You know, small talk. I can do it. I can be all full of small talk. You know, I done got to the point where I'm very cordial with white folk. But I just remind myself what it is. Don't forget. Because that normalcy feeling when you be dealing with white folks and other folks and just going through life, it'll make you forget that we actually in a fight out here. And the thing about the fight is racist and its foundation. So yeah, you gotta be diligent out here. And you know, don't care about don't be concerned about another thing, don't be concerned about white people crossing the street or looking the other way when you walk past them. Let them do that. But don't think one minute they're afraid of you. They don't do it out of fear. They do it to make you feel some kind of way. See, that's what some of you black people need to understand. Like if you walking down the street and a white person, they kind of move way over to the side. They're not doing it out of fear. They're doing it to make you feel some kind of way. See that? Y'all never thought about that, have y'all? See, that's what I learned just by analyzing some behaviors of people, man. White people, black people, all kind of races. When people do things, when people are over the top, you know, extra apologetic. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes you will be in the wrong. And you have some white people apologizing, but they don't do it out of fear. They do it to make you feel some kind of way, like you some kind of brute, like you some kind of mindless animal. And it's not really that they're afraid. They're just running a game, a mind fuck on you to make you feel some kind of way. So y'all never thought about that. Y'all probably just thought they was afraid. Yeah, I'm a black man. I'm a black woman on the street. You better move to the side. Oh, it ain't about none of that shit. These people is always doing things to lower our self-esteem as black people. So you got to be mindful of that too. Sometimes I say, I apologize. I have apologized at the same time. You know, excuse me in that sense. I apologize in that sense. You know, riding my bike, I say excuse me and all that. Even though they say sorry and all that shit. See, that's how you deal with that. You know, because I already know why they do it. You know, maybe a little child, a white child is afraid of something, but you got women out here, white women out here calling the cops. And that tells you they're not afraid. You got white women, white men out here calling the cops and standing right next to the black folks who they're supposed to be afraid of. Now, them black, if they thought them black people was really dangerous, a DMX type of nigga who would sock the shit out of them and knock them out cold, they won't be standing by them calling the cops. They'll wait till they leave, or they'll leave the scene and do it. I tell you right there, a lot of white people are not afraid of black people, no matter how frail they are. But they just call the cops. And the fact that they would stand around, call the cops, really proved they're not afraid. So you got to pay attention to what you see in black people. Even black teenagers. When I was a teenager, I would beat the shit out of a white person. I was kind of strong. So it ain't that the black youth can't whoop their ass in most cases. You know. When you're around 16, see the thing. I got to go into this. See the thing with black youth, male youth. When you like 16, 17. You may not be strong like when weightlifting, but your adrenaline makes you strong. You have a more efficient adrenaline delivery system. That's why when you see a lot of teenagers fighting, it's real high energetic. It's their adrenaline. It's more efficient. It's more efficient than an older person's adrenaline. It's more efficient than somebody like in their 30s, 40s on up. You know, make them real strong. But you be sore as hell in the morning. You know, they be lifting each other up, slamming each other, doing all kinds of super human looking shit. I was like that. I remember that shit. You know, but now my strength is just basically built on weight training. So it's more raw. I'm not as fast as I used to be in my teenage years. But it's just raw strength now. So you had to that's why you had to lift weights in your older days to kind of overcompensate for that lack of adrenaline, that lack of efficient adrenaline system you used to have. You know, so that's something to keep in mind. You know, that's why Mike Tyson was at his prime when he was in his youth. And he didn't really lift weights like that. He just had all that adrenaline. That adrenaline gave him an edge. That's why I give a lot of boxers in their youth edges. Even Floyd Mayweather was knocking people out back then. He had all that adrenaline in his system. So keep that in mind. So you can be a teenager. And that's why a lot of time also while black male youth, even though they be teenagers and young, they get classified as adults because of that adrenaline we have. See, that adrenaline make you move like some kind of cyborg or something. You be doing all kinds of outlandish shit with your strength. Yeah, but it's just an efficient energy burst when you're young. But these white folks, they're not really afraid of us. You know, they just want us to think that there's something wrong with us by being over apologetic about things. Sorry. Crossing the street, moving way over to the side. They're not afraid of black people. Look at them Karens calling the cops. I gotta keep reiterating. Now them Karens, if they knew they was around a DMX kind of nigga, think she gonna be standing around about some, oh, this black man is gonna give me this bike. I paid for this bike and help. DMX nigga sock the shit out her ass and just lights the fuck out. She won't do that around them dudes. That's why a lot of white people, they're selective with that shit. They look at how you behave around them. And truth be told, man, I almost want to get into some tinfoil kufi shit, as Tariq Nasheed would call it. Sometimes I wonder if there's some white folks around us who are telepathic, man. In the sense that they know who is pro-black, who is conscious about them, about their system. It's almost like they know, man. They know. It's like they have some kind of, I ain't gonna say it's some kind of extrasensory perception on some alien shit. But I think it has something to do with your mannerisms, our mannerisms. If you're a black man who knows about white supremacy, your mannerisms will be different. The things you say, the way you say it, the few words you use to say it, all that shit get recognized. You'll have some white people, they'd be kind of secretive and how they be talking to you. Or they'd go like around to a quiet situation, a quiet setting. You kind of see them whispering about you. I saw this, you know. I saw things like this in my truck driver training some years ago. It's like they just know, man. Because that's the thing. A black person is not conscious about what's going on. They kind of behave a certain way. They let white people know that they don't really know what's going on. You know, even me being cordial with white people, they still know that I know. They still know that I know. Like a couple white chicks I spoke to on the phone, but one in particular, she's from Canada, Windsor. She know that I know about white supremacy. You know how she know? Because when she was mentioning crime in Detroit, I didn't just jump on in and start agreeing with her and all this shit like a typical Negro Sambo dude, some dude who trying to placate the white woman. See, I didn't do none of that stuff, so she knew I knew about white supremacy. You know, that's why I didn't really call her back and all that. Not saying that I called all the chicks back like that, but she knew. But I was able to talk to her, be cordial, show interest. You got a child and everything. That's another thing too. About the interracial thing. If you're dealing with a white person with a child, that child ain't by a black man. You might as well want to just charge that to the game as far as relationship. You can hit it and all that, but you don't want to be dealing with a white woman with a white child from Brad or something like that. If you're dealing with a white woman, if you have a child by a black man, then you can kind of roll with that. But you don't want to be dealing with no white family like that, man. A child, straight up white child from a white man. You don't want to do none of that shit. Black man. That dude can say anything. That child can say anything. They, of course, they coerce that child to say anything. You got to worry about that stuff with black women and black children. So some vindictive black women will try that shit, but it'll really be effective if a white person was saying you touch their white child and all that shit. They can say any fucking thing. You know, put hands on their child. You know, that jealous ass white dude can come over there and blow your ass away and beat the case. That's another thing too, man. When you're in white people's homes, they can do anything to your ass and garner the protection of their white society, man. You gotta be very careful dealing with white folks, man. You know, like when I was training with the, when I was getting my CDL, we was like the trainer here. I guess it was like break time, I believe, and we get like an hour break or something like that. But we was like in a suburban neighborhood, and we kind of like walked up to a restaurant, like a buffet restaurant. It was me, white trainer, a couple other black students. There might have been a white student with us. But we was in there eating and stuff. They paid for everything. But when it was time to go, he just got up and started walking. I left us in there and just said, meet him. Just get back at a certain time. I got my ass up and started walking with him. That's what I'm talking about, folks. When you understand white supremacy here, you'll be caught out in some white suburban area just walking, man. Walking around, they can be like, who you know around here, what you doing out here? They could have saw you and a white guy walking in the restaurant. They still gonna say it. So that's what they want to do. They want to be on some injustice shit to get your ass. It's not paranoia, it's just what it is, man. You know, so normalize that mindset, black folks. You gotta normalize that mindset. You know. See, that's why I kind of, in a sense, I kind of applaud Tariq Nasheed, man, because he actually straddled the line of knowing the truth, and he's still able to be cordial with white folks. So you know that's why he make these music, in my opinion. Links like and all that, he'll get white people. See, Tariq, man, he is, I would say he's kind of mastered the balance to a degree of knowing systematic white supremacy, be able to speak out against it to white people, and still be able to be cordial and interact with white people. He have mastered their kind of art form in a sense. That's why a lot of, when I say art form, being able to know the truth and still deal with them like white people do. See, a lot of white folks, they know the truth and they know what they're doing, oppressing us and lying to us and all this shit, propagandizing and all that, but they can still laugh in our faces and make you genuinely believe they are our friend and all this shit. They've been born into it, man. It's a game today. It's a game that they mastered since they birth, their youth. So you be thinking like a lot of white people, they had to actually dig into some kind of super move or something in order to pull out these negative emotions, man. It's not really that white folks wear anti-black hate on their sleeve, man. They just know it's the way they do business. It's the way they folks, the white race and society does business. You know, it attacks black people and presses us and propagandizes against us. They know they better go along with it or they're gonna be in trouble with their own. So you don't give sympathy for people who go along with it either. That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess it just got to come to a point as black people where we just look at the situation, look at white folks, look at all these other non-black people who side with them against us, and even some other black people who side with them against us. Just see it for what it is and stop lying to ourselves and being caught up in the normacy of things, saying there's no racism. So you got a lot of black people who say there's no racism because they caught up in the normacy of things. Like, we've been born into a world, man. This is the aspects of it is normalized to us. The unjust aspects is normalized to it. So you know, we're in a world where people be talking this stuff I'm talking, or more in depth. You know, we go to the kitchen, go get a sandwich, go get some ice cream or something, and forget all about it. That's what I'm talking about, normalcy of things. Make you forget what's really going on. We've been accustomed to the abuse. And we can hear the truth. Say, yeah, turn off the television, turn off the radio, start reading a pro-black book. Then, just like you ain't never heard the knowledge. So we got to get into the point where hearing the knowledge sits in so deep that we don't have to, like, we don't need to recharge. We don't have to keep hearing it to understand. I'm at that point, I don't have to keep hearing it to understand. Like your mind is permanently unlocked to the knowledge, so You don't have to do all that studying about it. You just know. All right, folks, I think I'm gonna leave it on that.